In the latest from the criminal courts, one man on St. Thomas has been ordered to submit to a mental health and substance abuse evaluation after being arrested on domestic violence charges, while a St. Croix woman faces multiple charges including forgery and grand larceny. 52-year-old Jason Everett Smalls was recently arrested on charges of third-degree assault and disturbance of the peace as acts of domestic violence after his mother filed a report with the police. The woman said that a belligerent Smalls was using profanities at her residence when she asked him to stop. A visiting niece reportedly observed him drinking vodka chased with beer while cursing and threatening her aunt, and she attempted to call the police. Smalls reportedly responded by throwing the empty beer bottle in their direction, which caught his mother on the right side of her body as she tried to shield her niece. That was when Smalls' mother decided to press charges and ordered the man out of her home. The niece corroborated her aunt's story, but she declined to press charges of her own. The younger woman also reportedly declined medical attention despite being struck by fragments of the broken bottle. While Smalls' mother did not receive any visible injuries, she reported pain to her right side as a result of the strike by the bottle. Police noted that Smalls was still behaving threateningly towards his mother when they arrived, wishing death upon her. With the help of his brother, Smalls was escorted into the police vehicle, and in court on Wednesday, a judge ruled that he could be released after signing an unsecured bond for the $5,000 bail amount. He is barred from leaving the St. Thomas and John district without the court's written permission and must have no unlawful contact with his mother, cousin, or any other witnesses in the matter. Smalls is prohibited from consuming alcohol or any controlled substance and is barred from possessing a firearm or ammunition. On St. Croix, 38-year-old Kimberly Scott was recently arrested on charges of simple assault and battery as an act of domestic violence and disturbance of the peace after reportedly drunkenly accosting her husband. The man told police that he was cutting the lawn outside the house with his weed eater when his wife took the machine from him, telling him that she would do the work instead. The man said he retreated to a different location to avoid confrontation, but he was again approached by his wife, who shouted at him to come inside and help with the children. The man said that Scott grabbed him by his ponytail and pushed him to the ground. He says he received a scratch to the back of his neck as a result. The man was able to get away from his enraged wife and retreated to the driveway where he attempted to contact Scott's counselor, but she reportedly pursued him, pushed him to the ground again, and this time held him in a leg lock for some time before she released her husband. At that point, the man said he wanted to find a safer environment for him and his eldest child, but once again, Scott grabbed him by his ponytail, pulled his head down, and this time bit him on the left shoulder. The man said he was able to escape to the end of the driveway where he called 911 for assistance. Responding police officers found the man with a long scratch to the back of his neck and a reddish-blue circular contusion that appeared to have light teeth impressions on his left side near his shoulder and underarm. Despite his visible injuries, the man declined medical attention. Scott was also injured, bleeding from her right Achilles tendon. She told police that she had not done anything to her husband, but that he had been shouting at her all day. Police detained Scott and took her to the Anselmo Marshall Command Police Station, where she reiterated her claims that her husband had been cursing at her all morning, and further that he had shoved her down the flight of steps located on the northeastern side of the property. She said that was how she sustained the injuries to her ankle. Scott admitted to hitting and scratching her husband, saying that her retaliation had come after he pushed her, but denied biting him or taking the landscaping tool away from him initially. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Scott would need to post $101 in cash to secure her release, with the remainder of the $1,000 bail requirement as an unsecured bond. She is to have no unlawful contact with her husband and is prohibited from consuming illegal drugs and alcoholic beverages while the matter is pending. She was also ordered to undergo a substance abuse evaluation. And still on St. Croix, 25-year-old Noemi Martinez appeared before a judge in the V.I. Superior Court on Wednesday on charges of obtaining money by false pretense, forgery, passing forged bills or notes, grand larceny, and identity theft. It was in April 2018 when the security manager at Plaza Extra made a report to the VIPD Economic Crimes Unit alerting a possible check counterfeiting scheme involving the Virgin Islands Housing Authority. The owner of the Plaza Extra West provided law enforcement with 3 checks, receipts for purchases made, and surveillance footage of the individuals who presented the instruments. The checks were written using the banking information of the VIHA, but were returned as unauthorized. The bank on which the forgeries were supposedly drawn had recently instituted a new verification system to catch unauthorized checks, and so the instruments were flagged. One of the checks was made out to Noemi Martinez, dated March 29, 2018, in the sum of $939.32. On April 4th, surveillance video shows a black woman with blonde hair wearing a black vest, white shorts, and black slippers cashing the check to make a purchase of $95.76. A subpoena for information served on the bank in question revealed that the check was cashed by Martinez using her voter ID. Her address was also written on the instrument. When contacted by police in May of 2018, Martinez denied forging the check, but said that she had received it in her mailbox. She cashed it in order to help her family, Martinez told authorities, saying that nobody had contacted her to instruct her to do so, neither did she remit any of the funds to a third party. In court on Wednesday, a judge ruled that Martinez would be allowed to post an unsecured bond for the $20,000 bail amount to secure her release. Upon posting, she would be released into the third-party custody of a relative. Martinez was ordered to surrender her passport and will not be permitted to leave St. Croix without the court's written permission. She must report to the probation office once weekly and is to have no contact with the victim or any witnesses in the matter.